Hey, Big Papa.
Hi, can you
Good
hear me
evening.
well?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. How are you?
Okay, good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I would think, yep, we're live on YouTube.
Okay, well, I am sharing out the link.
Okay, just wanted to. Hi. Yep, so we're good. All right.
Let's see here.
I took Tabby to the vet um, so she could get her shots and get her nails trimmed and things taken care of.
Okay,
Come to
is
find out, I
she?
need to be feeding her more. So, yeah, there's that. I wasn't
Oh,
giving her enough food.
oh,
Yeah,
oh, Jesus.
sure. She likes to hear that. So now she's happy. She's
Mm-hmm.
going to be getting fed more.
Yeah, that was like, oh, she getting too skinny.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, shared it out on X. See if
Oh
I
yes,
can.
share and like the space. Like and share the space. Like and share the channel. Subscribe. You know, we're out here. We're live. We talk about things. We have quite the program this evening.
Mhm.
Just to give a quick rundown as far as what to expect on our agenda. We'll be talking about the BBB passes, uh, past changes that will start in 2026 after elections, midterm elections, White House emails getting hacked, Iran claiming responsibility, is cyber attacks the new age of terrorism. Elon Musk forms a new political party, the America Party. Delhi, Texas floods. I believe the number is over 100 now that are
Yes.
reported deceased.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican protests against gentrification and U.S. migration. And of course, the Epstein files, which there's apparently nothing to talk about after all that big cabal, but we'll talk about it. So just want to give everybody
Yes.
a quick rundown of what our agenda is for today. Please feel free to join the space if you'd like to give in your thoughts to anything that we're discussing. We'd love to have a positive discussion with intelligent folks. This is a Black First space, so do keep that in mind. But yes, please, Big Papa, get us going.
Take it away. Okay, well, it's the month of July. We are coming off of July 4th weekend. How was your 4-day weekend?
It was good. I can't complain. I got a lot of rest. That was, in my opinion, very needed. Um, Still think that there's more rest that could be had, but I gotta gird my
Hmm.
loins because I'm about to be traveling in about a day or two. So there's that. Lord
Okay.
willing, for safe
Hmm.
travels. And yeah, then, I'll be with family and things like that. So yeah. What about you,
Okay.
Big Papa? What did you do or did you enjoy your 4 day, 3 day, whatever holiday?
Yeah, mm, I did not get to see the fireworks this year, but I did get to hear
Hmm.
them.
Hmm.
So I haven't heard any more. I think like after Saturday night,
All
I
right.
didn't hear any more around here in my area. But
Hmm.
I'm hoping that everyone was safe with their fireworks. That you didn't burn up Big Mama and them's house.
Man,
And hopefully, your uncle was able to help y'all light up the fireworks and
back
that
up,
you
Terry.
guys had a good time. They did notice that I guess there was some type of data that came out that either like 80% of family gatherings have um like in decline pretty much, that less people are meeting together, doing family events, but especially there's a decline in family events in the Black community due to, matriarchs or patriarchs of the family passing away,
Well, I
which
tell you
I can
what.
say that is true.
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly, but I know in the last 2, 3 weeks just alone, I've seen at least three Black family reunions. There were two when Kendall and I were hanging out. When we were at the
Mhm.
hotel, we got caught up in between two Black family reunions.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then our mutual friend Rod, his family reunion was in Atlanta this last weekend? Because he
Yeah.
was preparing and planning for that for months. So, I don't know. You can't read and believe everything that you see out here. I be out here in the streets and I see Black folks line dancing and hanging out with their folks. So,
Mm, yeah. I mean, my family had a family reunion. I did not attend,
oh, well, there you go.
but I'm sure that you know it was great. Um, so I know today is July the 9th. And so a black fact would be that um, uh, July 9th was the day that uh, the 14th Amendment was passed.
Oh, was it today?
Not today, like today in 2025, but today
Well, yeah.
in
I mean, like the day
uh,
of.
uh, 18. I'm trying to get the exact date. 1819, July 9th, 1819.
Oh, neat.
And so let me just pull that up.
He said that was for the 14th Amendment?
Yes, I believe it was. Because it
Well,
has to do with,
the
um,
birthright citizenship.
yeah, it has to do with due process. Yeah, due process, um, birthright citizenship, and one more thing that happened. Can't think of it right now, but it does
Hmm.
have to do with the 14th Amendment and
Okay.
basically slaves getting the right to have freedom and given due process in the court of law, which is crazy that now due process is, the huge thing with immigration changes as well as birthright citizenship.
Well,
So,
as long as you're a U.S. citizen, you should be fine.
well, yeah, if that's your if you have that right, then yes,
As a U.S. citizen, yes, you do. Now, if you
yeah.
broke the law and you are not a U.S. citizen and you walking around looking over your shoulder, then yeah, you don't have the same rights as a U.S. citizen. And unfortunately, for the last 4 years, I think a lot of people forgot that. But there's been a lot of act right as of late. So yeah.
Um, so that is a black fact. Now y'all can look into that, but I did see that today, and it was July 9th, 18 some odd date in the 14th Amendment.
Awesome.
So, what is the first topic that you want to get into? The um, big beautiful bill,
Um. Oh, I didn't. We didn't. We can talk about the big beautiful bill. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
or which one? It doesn't matter. Which one would you like to start with?
Um. Well, I mean, let's start. Let's talk about the big beautiful bill.
Oh, okay. Well, when we ended the last podcast,
hmm
I believe we said that it was getting sent back to the house. Is
hmm
that right? And
I can't remember. Let's
something,
see.
I know something was going on because we didn't. It hadn't passed since the last time we
So the
spoke.
last time we were live was on July 2nd. So that was a week ago. And it
Hmm.
passed. When did you have your appointment? Was it Friday when you
Hmm.
were in Durham?
Yeah.
Okay. So it passed on the 4th. Yeah, because that's when he signed it. Or they passed it
Okay.
on the 3rd and he signed it on the 4th. So yeah, they were about to send it for them to sign in the house. So yeah, they ended up
Okay.
signing it on the 3rd the next day.
Okay. So, per our last podcast, it was getting sent to the house.
hmm
The next day, um,
hmm
they were getting ready to vote. Hakeem Jeffers did an 8-hour speech to
Yeah.
try to persuade 4 Republicans to vote no.
yeah.
He was only able to get two.
They
There was
those
a
were already gonna
third.
vote for. They were gonna vote that way anyways.
Yeah, so there was two who voted nay. There was a third, which was an Alaskan Republican. However, she voted yes.
Mm.
So the bill was passed. It was signed on July 4th. They did a whole hoopla, clapped and danced in y'all faces, including
Mm.
mine. And in my opinion, it will be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. A lot of the things in the bill won't go into effect until after the midterms. So um, I think that for me personally, I think that the Democrats need to keep this in mind, that in 2026, once these Republicans get moved out and Democrats get put in, that they remind the people that, these inflation costs, all of these prices is going to go up in 2 years and people don't have insurance, that they remind these people that that was a decision that was made on July 4th um, of 2025 under Trump. It wasn't under the guise of um, a liberal party. So
But you
hopefully,
know,
they'll be able to make that point, because people tend to forget about uh, how the laws are changed. Same thing with, everyone was blaming Joe Biden for inflation when we were under Trump's tax code. So people
and I'm
tend
so
to
glad
forget
you brought
that.
that up. I'm
Hmm.
so glad because I was just about to bring that point up. The thing is, when Democrats are in charge, they don't reverse those policies that Trump has. So, case in point,
Hmm.
those tax policies that Trump had that Biden could have reversed, he did not. He kept them in place. So,
Hmm.
I don't believe that the Democrats will do anything when they're back in charge because they've shown the track record of not doing anything when they're in
Right.
charge. So, I'm of the belief that they not going to reverse nothing even when they do take
Yeah.
over the house.
I've seen that as well, where uh, a lot of people are wondering, because on TV, Trump has been putting on TV in different commercials how the Big Beautiful Bill is great and amazing. I got an email in my email account from Social Security saying how wonderful the Big Beautiful Bill would be for Social Security, when really it's doing completely the opposite for those who are disabled and those who are receiving Social Security or getting ready to receive Social Security. So I think, like you said, it'll be interesting. I feel like that the Democrats need to buy up as much advertisement space as they can. As far as I know, they haven't. So, it will be, like you said, interesting to see how everything plays out in the coming months. But as of right
Yeah,
now, the king is in the seat, and it's his land, and he wants to run it the way he's gonna run it. So, I mean, the crazy part is, I get the whole point of having working people to get health insurance, but what y'all, the ones who aren't on Medicare or Medicaid, who aren't receiving any of those benefits, what's going to happen is, when these 16 million people lose coverage and they don't have no way to pay their medical bills at these facilities, let's say they go into the emergency room and they receive their bill a week later after their emergency room visit, and those same poor people don't have the money to pay the emergency room bill and act like they don't know about the bill and it just won't get paid. When those hospitals and doctors offices and things, urgent care, lose their money and they don't get paid anything at all for these services that they are providing, what do you think they're going to do to those who have insurance? They are going to increase the prices on the people who have insurance, and then they're going to have to use those insurance companies to recover back the funds that they lose. Of course, they'll be able to write it off, but it's going to be the prices are going to raise on the ones who have insurance. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of that plays out when, are people going to go to the doctor? If they do go to the doctor, um, are how are these hospitals going to respond to those who aren't insured? How are they going to respond to um, people who are insured? Do they get better services than those who are not? Are they going to get served first before those who don't have a lick of insurance at all? So it'll be, just interesting how it's going to play out, as well as how many lives will be lost from community hospitals being shut down, like the one here in Roxford. There's already been a handful of facilities that did already close their doors before um, everything takes into play in 2026.
yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot to that, and obviously there's a bigger play happening because they are also going to include medical debt as, you know, if you have medical debt, unlike right now where it's, you know, unlike right now where it's, not really counted towards your credit, it would be counted towards your credit now. Like I think I don't know exactly when, but if you have medical debt, it's going to count negative against you. So there's definitely a play happening right now with that. So they want people to be more in debt, obviously, and they want people to either pay out of pocket or have big ass medical bills that just ain't gonna get paid. So I think that just goes back to the biggest issue that we have in this country, which is like the regulation is all screwed up. The people that can do something about it choose to do nothing about it because they're bought and sold. And I really don't think it matters who is in charge unless you have a party that's going to really be for the people and answer to the people. But I don't know how that's going to happen. I just don't see that happening with either one of these parties. Like they're so corrupt and just allow so much garbage to happen that shouldn't happen. And they both play against each other, but at the same time, they need each other to survive. It's a real disgusting game. And we're all just caught in the middle of it. And like you said, yeah, people's lives are at stake, all because they want to line people's pockets and make sure that they continue to get rich. And people's healths are at stake in the midst of all of that. So it is just really sad overall. Going back to all right, when you have the midterms next year and the next party takes over, well, what are they going to do to reverse something that happens like this? Are they going to do anything at all? Because a lot of the people that supported their campaigns are the ones that supported the Republicans' campaigns, and they have to answer to them because you know what? They gave them a whole lot of money so that they could be sitting in those chairs that they're in and not really thinking about their constituents back home. They play pretend like they do. Like, who was it? Tom Tillis here in North Carolina, who's voted with the Republicans every single time. And now, as he's retiring, as he's trying to make it seem like, oh, he's so fed up and leaving and has found religion all of a sudden. No, you've been part of the problem this entire time. You know what you've been doing the entire time. And now, when it's time for you to ride off in the sunset, you're just going to, chuck the deuces and be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go do something else. Or, I'm so disgusted and I don't like what's happening. So I'm going to, still vote anyways. I mean, these people are just, I don't know. Like well, it passed, it's
Eh,
signed, it's
yeah.
part of the lexicon now. Go ahead.
And I did just want to touch a little bit on like the education portion, which is that um, college students, if you are listening to this, you're young, you're living your life. Uh, However, y'all need to start thinking about what y'all gonna do with that loan debt because Daddy Trump wants his money. The Department of Education want their money and they want it now, and that is going to also affect your credit score if you are default on any of these loans or you are lackadaisical with making. I'm sorry, with making your payments. Did you hear that, Jay?
Was that
Thunder. It's
thunder?
thundering really bad.
Oh,
Yeah, it just started back up again. So
oh,
just
okay.
anyway. So what I was gonna also say is that, like you said, they are trying to line their own pockets as well as
Mhm.
I think that they are trying to slow down the progression of other minorities to have a better life, i.e., being a doctor or being a lawyer, because now they are putting a cap on how much you can get for student loans, and that cap will be $150,000. Becoming a doctor or a lawyer, those uh, type of cost is over $500,000 to pay for your education. So, we have to understand the cards that are being played. And the cards are is that they see us living in their neighborhoods and have good jobs, lawyers, doctors, veterinarians, all of those things that bring in money, and they want to slow down group, that movement of black doctors, nurses, etc., etc. I mean, not only do you have AI coming in to change up all of these fields, but now you have a rules and regulations around how much you can you can borrow to get the type of education that you want. So I will say this, that if you feel like you are at that 150K mark, I would be looking into doing some type of trade, because that's where your money is going to where the your opportunity will come in, because those type of trades don't cost $150,000 to
And AI can't
um
replace that shit either.
right. AI can't replace plumbing. AI can't get up on the electric poles. AI can't string wire in an apartment building.
Mhm.
So, AI can't fix cars now. It can probably fix a Tesla, but or, an electric vehicle, but
That's a big ass
it
maybe. Yeah.
it can't it can't fit the ones that aren't 100%. This man has to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are the things that I want to say about that. But
Mhm.
I also, I since you started to talk about the parties, then that can roll into the Elon Musk party.
Okay.
I don't really know too much about the party. I know that the main things that I do know about it is that he is trying to use, I guess, the morals and values of the Republican Party before it turned MAGA. So to get that Republican, more conservative ideals, that would uphold the American Party.
Mhm.
Now, I think that really needs it's not a good idea. I don't know if you saw today that the CEO of X, she quit.
Yeah, I did see something about that. Yeah.
So apparently Grok got out of control yesterday
Mhm.
and was saying, a lot of racist things, and uh they were I guess Elon thought that Grok was too liberal. And so they did like some type of programming either like over the weekend. And then this week, people were reporting that Grok was saying a lot of like racist things. So they programmed it again yesterday and fixed it. And then today, the CEO quit. So, but they were saying that the CEO, she's MAGA, but
Mhm.
sh- something had to do with that Grok system going left, and with her. But apparently the lady that was the CEO, her previous position was getting advertisement and funding for certain companies. So
Mm.
if you got a system that is really beyond racist and you're trying to get advertisements to be able to pay for people's salaries and stuff, I could see where that would be a problem. Where, okay, I'm doing my job, I'm trying to run this company, and the creator, the person who bought it, is undermining me every chance that I get.
Mhm.
So I think that Elon Musk has the money. I think that it would be interesting to see who can be the representatives of the American Party, and will it split up MAGA? Will it split up the more conservative liberals? Um, and will there be an introduction to a new party? Did you see that Dr. Heavenly is running for a position in Georgia?
With the American Party?
No, 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 not with the American Party, but this is just a side conversation.
Oh,
That
no.
Dr. Heavenly is running for a Georgia seat in, I guess, the Georgia Congress.
Mhm.
And I think that Phaedra dropped the video that she's heavily considering running as well.
Okay. Okay. All right.
For the girlies who watch Real Housewives and Married to Medicine, that's some of your celebrity news. Now we got celebs that think they're politicians now.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's.
Now, granted,
Mhm,
Phaedra is a lawyer.
mhm,
So, and granted, Dr. Heavenly is a dentist.
mhm,
So, but I think that, as two black women trying to get into it, why not?
mhm. Well, as far as the America Party, um,
Hmm.
and when you had said, is it going to split MAGA or whatever, or the Republican Party? I, what I do know is not going to gain any black support, like any major black support, right? So, and in order to win any election, that's kind of a big thing that you have to have. If you don't have it, you'll lose it, or it won't go the way you think it will, I should say. And by setting up a party like this, I don't see where it's necessarily going to bring any black people over. But like
Hmm.
you said, it'll bring in white people. But what else is new? Like, but you can't just win off of that. Like you said, it'll just split the Republicans, MAGA, all of that, and even more. And so, but hey, at the end of the day, you do. I think you need more than two, which there are more than two major parties. But
Hmm.
I think that people should look outside of Democrat and Republican. Now, that being said, you really have to look at what else is out there and just kind of see if it aligns with what you believe in. But at the end of the day, I don't see where the America Party is really going to be any different than the Republican Party or MAGA. And all it's going to do is just split that party and fracture it more.
Yeah. I mean, he has the money. He has the money to,
Hmm.
um, run the advertisements, the campaign money. He
Hmm.
wouldn't need some type of outside source to like run different candidates places.
Hmm.
However, like you said, I don't know. Like, I don't think he can get the full majority vote.
Hmm.
So, is he wasting his time by creating a new party? I don't know,
But
but
it could
when you
be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, 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 you go ahead. You go ahead.
I just wanted to say it could be he just wants to spite the Republicans because of like how they broke up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he could just be doing it out of spite, like, oh, I'm just going to fracture your party by spending a whole lot of money against you. I mean, again, that's rich guy stuff. Like you can do that if you got the money just to with somebody and just to make them lose something that they don't want to lose, just out of spite. Yeah, yeah, I would do it if I'm a petty rich dude. I would probably do something like that. Yeah.
Well, I'm doing a just a little Google search here.
Hmm.
So his American Party is already affecting the Tesla shares.
Hmm.
Um,
By the way, I've seen a
and
lot of new Teslas on the road, like with third day tags, like the new ones too. So folks still buying them damn
mm,
things.
it's saying here that exposing the Epstein files is a top priority for the American Party.
Hmm.
So I guess we can go into that.
Oh yes, the
But
Epstein case.
yes, the
Man,
Epstein
man, oh
case.
man, they were lying their butts off. They've been lying, liar, liar, plants for hire.
Well, I'll say this: the timeline that I saw was that when Trump got into office, Bondi said that they were working on those Epstein files, and that she had them sitting on her desk.
Hmm.
And that Indian nigga that's in the FBI,
You got about
the Defense
Cash.
Department,
Cash
he
Patel.
said,
He's the FBI
yeah, Cash
director.
Patel. Oh, okay, him.
The
He
scared looking nigga, yeah.
he said that it was gonna take time for him to pull all of these
Yeah.
files, and
That's
that
that's how
the
you knew it was
Southern
already
District
some
of New
bull.
York the Southern District of New York had all of these files that they were hiding from them, and that it was going to take time for them to go through each page by page and take out this and remove that and protect the women who were listed in it, and that they're close, and that it was Trump's number one priority to get those Epstein files. And now, after all of that pushback, after all of those lies and excuses, now you're saying they don't exist. You drop a video with a minute clip missing.
From a camera that you said was off, but then you found the footage somehow, and but then all the footage except for that minute, and the two security guards that were supposed to watch the man that's on S watch fell asleep or whatever. All of the sudden, do they think people are dumb? Yeah, they think people are dumb. Okay.
Well, they think their base is dumb.
Well, they do love the
Trump loves
uneducated.
the right. Trump loves the uneducated voter. So, do I believe that if another president was to get in office, or if Elon Musk was able to get in there and pull up the files? No, I think those files are ripped up, cut up, chopped up, burned up, or either they're at the bottom of some ocean somewhere.
Hmm. Well,
Any trace of that file will be deleted, because if all of that information gets pulled out, that they did have the files and all of that stuff,
hmm.
then we have Pam Bondi is going to be on the block getting questioned, and Trump will be exposed, getting questioned. Cash Patel will be exposed and getting questioned. So it's too many people that would be exposed if the documentation and the 1 minute clip that's missing, if all of that was revealed to the next person who gets on the throne, will expose. I don't think that they're right. There is no more paperwork. you know there is no 1 minute clip because they've destroyed it. It's gone.
But
I mean, allegedly.
yeah. I mean, so this is where these victims, what I think they should do is all go and stand in front of the White House with their signs and start giving on their signs. They have dates of the time periods of when things happened.
Right.
That'll get something going, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
You have a whole bunch of white women,
Mhm.
aka life's bread, honey,
Mhm. Mhm.
just outside with signs with dates on them. Like if they really wanted to like just start a movement, like just do that and be done with it, because they really playing in folks' faces. You made this big hubbub about it. You got Cash Patel years ago saying the only reason that they haven't released the list is because of the people that's on the damn list. He gets to be the White House or not White House, the FBI director, and all of a sudden there's nothing there to see. And
Right.
the thing is, when you're in this White House, and they know this because it was what had to happen in the first Trump White House. When you're in these positions, Trump will put you there to be the fool,
Mhm.
because he's not going to take the fall. You will. And you could think that all of them catching it right now. The attorney general, the press secretary, like you said, Cash, all of them sitting there getting the side eye and question and everything because everybody knows that they lying because they're not good liars. They're terrible liars. If you're gonna get liars, get some liars that can lie. Damn it, these people here are just. She's a lawyer. She can't lie. Cash Patel, I
Right.
don't know what the hell he is, but he can't lie. He looked like he lying every time he opened his mouth.
Yeah, he is. Mm,
And then that little the press secretary, you already know she's the that's her job is to lie every time she goes up on the podium. So
yeah. Hmm.
I mean,
And if they not lying, they're lying. If they're not lying straight to your face, they blame it on somebody else. Nothing
so
is ever their fault. Nothing they do is their fault. It's either Biden's fault or it's somebody else's fault. Never their fault at all.
yeah. Well, and then you saw in the when they were taking questions and Trump was there, and they were asking about the Epstein thing, and he got mad and was like, "Why are you asking about that when we got all this other stuff going on, basically?" And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Pam was sitting there. He was like, "Well, you can answer it," and she's like, I can answer it. Like, yeah, I'll be a good lap dog." And then he goes on and said, we not dealing with that." Like, I mean, he's again, if you were fool enough to go work under this man, you knew exactly what you was getting into because we all saw in the first White House how he treated people and how he
Right.
made them look foolish and how they went along with it up until the end when they got fed up and they left and they wrote a book.
Yep. Everybody gets burned, but Trump. Trump the only one who doesn't get burned. It's like having crabs. Everybody gets burned, but the main person who needs burning the most. So, I mean, it's just very interesting how all of this is playing out. But I hope that something gets exposed. I mean, Elon exposed it when they were fighting and arguing, and he said to save his post. That the reason why they won't get released is because Trump's name is on it.
Mm,
Trump does. I think he is Doe 173 or 175, because they don't have the like actual names mentioned, but the names that are mentioned were given like a number, and so Trump's number was Doe 173. Now if there was no files and there was no paperwork, how does he have his own name and number in the file?
yeah, yeah.
So, y'all please don't be persuaded by the BS. It's all lies. It's all nonsense. Every bit of it. There are files. Are the files available now? I highly doubt it. And a hurt dog will holler, and we saw that in there where he was saying, why are we talking about that when
Hmm.
so many great things have happened? What great things have happened? I don't know. The only great thing that has happened is their pockets are getting lined. That's it.
Well, there it is. That's the great thing that happened.
So,
Him and his buddies got paid. Yeah.
that is just very interesting. I mean, if if Elon Musk's party got in the seat, I would love to see the documents and show the minute. That's what I want to see. I don't care about the documents. Show me that minute that was missing.
Yeah, it's because there's some tomfoolery that happened in that minute.
Right. Show me that minute. That's what I want to see. I don't care about the paperwork. I don't even care that Trump's name is listed on it. God knows however many times.
We
I don't
already
care.
know
We
that his name
already
is on
know.
it. Exactly.
Right.
Like that
We
was your
already
buddy,
know
big
that.
dog. You was down there in
We
the
already
island.
know. He's a rapist, he's a molester, he's all of those things. We already know that. So that's nothing new. As far as other celebrities' names, Republicans and Democrats, whoever names was listed in it, we know shady shit goes on. We know that because whatever was going on at Diddy's place was definitely going on at Epstein's place.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was just
It was a whole island.
a white owner and a black owner of a
Yeah.
party. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah.
And Americans, when y'all get so nasty? When did y'all get so
Hmm.
frisky in the dark? Or have y'all always been like this?
Oh, this is nothing new, honey. This is nothing new. The debauchery's
Mm-mm.
been here.
I mean, when I listen and watch all that stuff, it's like I feel like I'm pure. I feel very pure compared to the things that I hear that goes on. So
Oh, yes, indeed.
so it's just crazy.
Big Papa says she's pure. Oh man, that's funny.
What's the other topic?
Want to go into the White House emails getting hacked and Iran taking responsibility?
Um, yes, let me pull up some information on that
Hmm.
because I didn't. Um, and of course, the White House is denying all of that.
Oh, they're saying it didn't happen, or they're saying that Iran wasn't the one that did it. Which lie are they trying to put out there?
Let's see.
Because I think all of that has something to do with Israel, obviously, if it was Iran.
Okay, so it's saying here, recent reports indicate a significant cybersecurity threat targeting the White House and associated campaigns with allegations of email hacking and data breaches. Iran linked hackers are reportedly threatening to release stolen emails, including those of White House officials, and the FBI is investigating the matter. These incidents are part of a broader pattern of cyber espionage and influence operations targeting U.S. elections and infrastructure. Um, yeah, so Iran is pretty much saying that they are linked to it. Um, Basically, those concerns is that there are vulnerabilities in the security of the White House, communications and data, and we have to remember that that's the same uh area that Elon was able to get into that houses all of our social security numbers and houses the White House government websites, how all of those websites were cleared of different information and stuff. All of those were um tapped into when Elon was in office. So it's funny to me that and then a lot of those people either got fired or quit because they wasn't going to just bend over and let Elon's team come in and just do whatever with the information. So now that those positions are empty and our security is um, vulnerable, that now Iran would have access to missile codes, and those codes would be used to um, fire missiles without anyone in America to turn them on. So they were able to get the codes and use those codes to um, use them against Americans in America.
Hmm.
So uh, obviously that's not the first time that has happened. We know that Russian hackers had access to the White House and the State Department systems. That has occurred. So cybersecurity attacks is not anything new.
Hmm.
However, can you cause more damage in America by cyber attacks versus um sending a bunch of missiles over to America and
Hmm.
killing everybody? Because the purpose of 9/11, from what they say, the purpose was to um the planes going into the World Trade Center was to affect our economy, which it did affect our economy. So, if you are able to hack into our systems, what else can you can do? You can stop people from getting funding. You can withhold funds from those who are on disability and on social security payments. You could release out, like we said, emails exposing different emails from different people. You can expose different military attacks that they may have. It's just a lot of things they could do, you know?
Why don't they release the damn Epstein list so they can do all that shit?
Because like I told you, I think they don't have it on a computer. It's all paper. It's shredded up
Okay.
and burnt up and put in a container and dropped at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle.
There's always a
Allegedly,
record. Trust
allegedly.
me. There's always a record. There's always a record. Yeah. But, that does go into what I kind of wanted to talk about with the flooding.
Okay.
When we talk about warfare and cyber warfare and getting into the next phases of war and all of these things, America has been kind of unhinged, in my opinion, lately. By lately, I mean the last 3 years,
Hmm.
especially in its campaign against the global South, as recent as what we've seen with Israel and Iran. We also are seeing it with Ukraine and Russia. But the constant is that the West keeps losing to the global South.
Right.
And so the reason
I
I'm
did
bringing
want to
this,
tell you that we do have a request. I wanted to tell you that too.
oh,
We have a speaker request.
someone's on a request. Oh, okay. We can bring them up. Who is requesting? Okay. Armadou. Hello. You may have to unmute yourself, Armadou. Okay. Well, you can definitely listen.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You can listen in. Already do.
so yeah.
You requested to speak.
Hello
But
everyone.
oh, hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good, good. Where are you from, Armadou? Oh, he went away.
I'm from Gambia, West Africa.
Oh,
West
Gambia.
Africa. Okay.
Very nice. What brings you on today?
Yeah, bro, I'm here, I'm here for my family, bro. We are here living without food, almost now 2 days, That's why I'm special, looking for some help, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so sorry, that's not what we can do for you, my man. Sorry about that. Maybe another space you can do that. But did you have anything you
Yeah.
wanted to add to the conversation?
No, I don't have anything,
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you. All right.
All right.
Bye. Yeah. Get out of here. Okay. So, as I was saying, We let's see. Let me get this guy out of here. Remove from speakers. Thank you. All right. Okay. Think it did that. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, with these floods that are happening, and connecting it to the wars that the U.S. have found themselves in, uh,
Hmm.
every action has a reaction. So if you're out here doing dirt, it's don't expect things to happen to you, right? Now it
Hmm.
may not be direct, but it may be indirect. If you've noticed, we've had all of these different floods and storms and things of that nature that have just rocked the United States, specifically
Hmm.
the Texas floods, where it seems like it's over 100 people that have lost their lives and are still missing. I just heard on the 6:30 news they said that they're going into the hope phase, I guess, which is basically they're figuring if they ain't found you by now, it's going to be a miracle that you're still alive, type situation.
Hmm.
So it's very unfortunate, but it's called equivalent exchange for a reason. At some point, you can't keep out here doing what you're doing and not expect to get hit at some point, whether it's by nature or some other means. And I think that's kind
Right.
of what we're experiencing right here in America right now. Besides the fact that we're on purpose, destroying the ecosystem, and that's wreaking havoc, causing these incredible storms that we're dealing with. But besides all of that, the check has, come home with all of these chaotic things that the United States is doing overseas.
Right. And I mean, from I mean, the major thing about this whole situation that's sad is that funding was cut from the NOAA and the National Weather Service (NWS), and now the everyone is trying to figure out who's to blame for these white folks dying. And th- the issue for me is that nobody's willing to accept or take the blame. Governor Abbott, he doesn't want to accept or take the blame. The sheriff over the county, he doesn't want to accept or take the blame. uh Trump doesn't want to accept or take the blame. Nobody wants to take the blame that the alerts didn't go out,
Mm,
and that people should have been made aware of of the floods that were going to happen in the area.
mm,
Granted, yes, that area didn't experience that type of rain before, but as we have spoken so many times
mm, mm,
on this podcast, and we've
mm,
had a whole segment of a show about it, if it rains in your area, that means it can flood.
mm. That's
Okay,
true. Yeah.
and so clearly, uh, there had to be known that there was going to be rain in the area. Now, if you go along a river, mm, there's always a case of rivers overflowing, flooding out.
Yeah, that's true.
So someone wasn't made aware that alert should have been turned on in this
Hmm.
area, and the power of water moves very fast.
Hmm.
So you don't have time to create a plan. A plan should have already been put in place.
Yeah.
And so my heart goes out to the lives that were lost unexpectedly.
Hmm.
Um, but I do believe that it the governor of Texas, the mayor of the city, the sheriff, the Trump administration, the NOAA, excuse me, the National Weather Service, everybody has blood on their hands from these 100 plus people who have died and was not made aware of it being flooded in that area.
Yeah. No, it's
Um,
definitely the local officials and, on up that take response should, like you said, they have a responsibility to protect and make sure that the civilians are safe and all of that, and they definitely failed. So,
so,
and this
for
could be
those of
anywhere in
us,
America.
right. I mean, those of us who live on the East Coast, as we said before, we're officially in the hurricane season. North Carolina was hit with a tropical storm.
Hmm.
Different areas was flooded out. A lady that lived in my town died from the flooding that occurred over the weekend. And Trump has made it very clear that these states aren't going to be able to depend on FEMA. you know um as far as officials go, all they can give y'all is hope and prayers. That's it.
Hey, well, that's what the people wanted.
And
So, yeah.
yeah, this is what y'all voted for. This is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted these different departments to get gutted, and y'all wanted it all to go into the Department of Defense to get these fixed up out of here. And the crazy thing is, the president of Mexico, she sent troops to Texas to help recover these bodies. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yes, and did nobody knows it because she's not looking for cameras to be in her face about what she could and couldn't do to help another country that is in need to locate, bodies of these people who have died.
Mm-hmm.
So, and shout out to that guy that just passed through Coastal Guard and he saved like 130 something people. Shout out to him. He wasn't looking for a camera to be put in his face. He wasn't looking to shine. He was looking to save people of his country, and he's not getting a lot of credit too. So shout out to that young white man for going out there and saving your people. Now, could I go out there and help anybody? No, I could not. Would I? No, I won't. Now, when all of this happened, the girls were chatting in X and saying that the reason why there was no alert sent out was because of a DEI hire. They were saying
Well,
that. Then the other thing they were saying was that the deep state created a storm cell to make it heavily downpour in that area, so it would affect white people because of everything that's going on against immigrants.
bro, I tell you. No, I
So you
think.
see, it's and instead nobody is saying, you know what, it's because of global warming that America is heating up and that storms are getting worse and worse, and that that means more waterways, more water, more powerful winds and gusts. And nobody's saying that. Instead, y'all are saying that it's some made up BS and some DEI hire. The same ones that I thought Trump got rid of the DEI hires. So if he got rid of the DEI hires, then who's running the NOAA and who's running the National Weather Service? The ones with merit. So they slipped through the cracks with it, and then and then now you want to say that someone has enough strength to create a water cloud to pinpoint one specific area to collect up all of these white girls and kill them?
Mhm.
No, no.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
So, and these are the same people who say that the media is fake, but then y'all go and create fake news on situations that never happen. And it's just that's where I think that yes, the First Amendment right is great, but I think that some of that could have been toned down on social media sites from creating fake news that could occur.
Yeah, well, the First Amendment is so that they can just continue to be racist without issues. So that's all that's about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ain't
Um.
because they got anything intelligent to say. That's for damn sure.
Right. Um. Is there any other topics?
Yeah. I did want to. I mean, you kind of segued us into, since you brought up the
Oh,
Mexican president. Um,
yeah.
Mexicans are protesting against gentrification and U.S. migration. Um, I found this very interesting because it appears that in Mexico they're dealing with an immigration issue. I found this article on Yahoo News.
Mhm.
The influx of U.S. migrants in districts like Colonia, Condesa has exacerbated gentrification issues, prompting calls for legal migration and contributions from them being the influx of U.S. migrants. Affluent foreigners, particularly Americans, are increasingly working remote in Mexico City due to its lower cost of living compared to most American cities. This trend has sparked backlash because many Americans can stay in Mexico for up to 180 days without a visa, often choosing to leave only when they reach the 6 month limit. Demonstrators expressed concerns about the rising cost of living, noting rents have surged by 45% in 5 years. So, we talk about immigration and illegal immigration here in America and its effects on the local population, and people get called all kinds of names. But here in Mexico, they're literally having a similar issue where their cost of living is increased due to illegal immigrants that are from America that are jacking up their prices and cost of living.
Mhm.
Which, again, that's very similar to what we deal with here, where, not saying that the illegal immigrants are Mexican, all of them, but we have a case of illegal immigration and how it has been part of the reason why costs for everyone have increased. And when there's a conversation of, all right, well, let's get this taken care of and, you know, make sure that we can have American citizens taken care of, people get called all kinds of words like xenophobic and this, that, and the third. But this same thing could literally not happen in any other country except America. So
Mhm.
it's like, again, you talk about things that the news doesn't talk about. They don't talk about this either. I just
Mhm.
find it damn ironic that literally Mexico's having an issue with Americans that are illegal because, interestingly enough, those Americans want to get a cheaper place to live because probably where their jobs are is so damn expensive. Well, why is it so expensive? Probably because it's in one of those cities that's a sanctuary city and it costs 80% of whatever you make just to live there. So, yeah, I mean, again, we talk about cause and effect. We got to look at like kind of everything. If you have a huge influx of these people that are getting subsidized to live in certain places that jacks up the rent, your wages haven't increased, you're not able to get any kind of subsidized assistance because you make too much money. So then what happens? You have to then find somewhere else to live that's more affordable, that tends to be further out from where you're working and where you're living and already have a comfortable life. But those people get to stay and continue to get resources that come from your taxes that you pay for out of your paycheck. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think people should just build their own homelands, and we wouldn't have this issue. Especially when you talk
Yeah.
about illegal immigration. But at the same breath, I will say the United States needs to keep they damn business out of everybody else's business. We don't need to have all of these military bases across the world. We don't need to be intervening with other countries' politics and putting in puppet leaders so that they can destabilize a region of the world, therefore causing these people to flee and come to America where they can come be cheap labor. So, you know, it's a cause and effect, like I said earlier. But I just wanted to share that story because I did find it very interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
There's the BBB thing in 2026 after 2026, and that's the last thing we have on our agenda.
Well, we kind of talked about that.
Oh, we did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Earlier.
All right.
Uh. So, this was a good conversation to have. If you are following us on YouTube, definitely leave us a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe. Liking the video and subscribing is free. Commenting is also free, and we would love to see your comments down below. Um, we are located on almost all socials, so definitely give us a follow.
If you're on
It,
X, the Truth Power Perspective pages has all of our links in the link tree section. Please take a look, follow the page, follow all of our other socials as well. Yeah.
yeah, and so then you can also follow both of us separately. I am Mimi the Great on all socials.
And I am at JCJ08 STA. This broadcast is also powered by J. Jordan Deluxe Realty, where we are a full service real estate firm in the states of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. But we can also help you nationwide as well as internationally. We just, we got all kinds of connects. But we do specialize in all kinds of real estate, but we do have a unique specialization in right of way, which I would love to talk more about that. Right of way sounds fun. It's a little bit of touchy subject nowadays, but it has something to do with land and the taking of it for the good of the betterment of society. But in any event, yes, J. Jordan Deluxe Realty. We are on line jjdeluxerealty.com. Also on all socials, J. Jordan Deluxe Realty. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, until next time.
Until next time, thank you all for listening and being part of our discussion. We don't have any charity at this moment besides peace, love, and blessings. But we don't feed like that. Sorry to that man.
Yes, sorry. We are taking sponsorships. So definitely reach out to us in the DM or send us an email. I believe that's also linked in the link tree.
Donations, donations,
Yes.
donations.
And if you would like to get on the podcast, send reach out to our DM box
Oh
and
my God, that's something we
um
should do as a panel.
yeah. So if you would like to come in as a special guest, definitely reach out to us so we can see if we can get that scheduled for you.
Oh yeah, we'll squeeze you in. Yes, indeed.
All
All
right.
right. Have a good
All
night.
right. You as well.
Bye.
All right. Bye.